Okay, so welcome to today's class on building configurators for augmented reality. So if you are new to model viewer, please look at the previous video before this get started. Okay, so today we're going to be building a configurator for a 3D model, which is it first using model viewer for augmented reality. So this is what we're trying to achieve today. So we have the ability to change the texture on the dress to whatever texture we want. So as you know, this use case can be good for e-commerce, with our sell clothing and all that. So now let's get started. So I'll provide you with the GLB file and the texture folder that I'm going to be using for this project is to be provided. So now let's get started. So once you've downloaded the GLB file and the texture folder, which will be in the link provided to you guys, we're going to open that GLB file in Model Viewer Editor. This is the link here, modelviewer.dev/editor. So click on this blue button over here and find our GLB file with the downloads. Yeah, I have my GLB file here named Trace. So this is our GLB file for the dress. As you can see, it is animated and currently the color is white, so there is no texture applied on the dress. So what we're going to do now is, if you want to, let's click on this button over here. We can add lighting to the dress. So I'm going with legacy, with a preferred legacy light. You can choose to play or not play the animation. You can turn this off, turn it on, choose where it should stop. But I'm going to turn mine on because it looks better that way. You can add hotspot as well. If you don't know what hotspots are, you can refer to the previous video. But let me just share what an hotspot is. If I click on add hotspots, I can add a text description of my model, so they know which parts I'm clicking up. So this indicates that this is the dress. So I don't need this, but if you need it, you can just add one hotspot yourself. And this is the camera setting, so you can choose from which angle you want your model to be viewed while when you open it. So just give that default. Yeah, well, I'm going to come back to this place, but here to know which material we're selecting. My dress that now has only one material, so I don't need to choose for any other one. But here, if you have a model with a lot of material, they will be highlighted down here with their numbers. So the first number is 0 according to programming. The next one will be 1, 2, 3, so we can identify which part of the dress we want to change. So once you go put your dress over here, just so we'll download our scene. So Model Viewer can generate the code for us and we can get started. Okay. So my scene is done. Let me extract and continue. So I've downloaded my scene and I've extracted it. This is the folder over here. So what to rename this folder first? Because I don't like my folder having spacing. So let me rename this. Let me first So okay, so I'll open that first. So I can right click, show more option, and open with code. So I'm going to open this with VS Code. If you're using a Mac, you can just go to VS Code, right? Open folder, and command open your folder in VS Code. The same thing. So yeah, I'll open my folder over here. This is my index.html file, my GLB model, a JavaScript file, a CSS file, the image generated, a poster image generated, AR icon image, and AR prompt image. So you can see the code. So if I run this code using live server, I go in live, I should be able to see my address locally on my system. Okay. I guess it's taking time. No, let's save it. Okay, it's here. So now you can see my address locally on my system, and everything we added in the model via editor is there. You can see the lights. Although I removed my hotspot because I don't need it. So now let's move on to adding materials. So I'm going to go to the model via documentation. As I said earlier, model via adds a documentation with the codes that we need to perform any task. We'll come over here and go to documentation example. Share. Sorry, to start more. We click on examples and it brings you to this page. So once you get to this page, I need you to click on material as seen and scroll down to swap textures. Because that's what we're going to be using. Material as seen, swap texture. So this is what I was trying to achieve here. This guy feels top over here, which allows us that when we click a button, it changes the material applied on the right side. So I'm going to be copying the code that was used to implement this. So the first code I'm going to copy, as I said, if you want to do this, you need a basic knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But the first code I'm going to copy is the div class control for this and for this select box. So from here, copy this div class control all the way to this closing D. We'll Control C, click it to my VS Code, and I paste it inside the model VR tab. Then I'll copy it. Control C. Okay, so as I was saying, copy the code, then come over to VS Code and paste it. Then we close the div class control class. So now we have the first line of code. Save this, go back to your website. So let me see. So as you can see now, I have this here, but it's not working yet. So we have to. There's still more code we need to copy to make the configurator work. So let's go back to the model viewer. So we've copied this first line of code that we need. We don't need the metallic normals unless you are doing extra, but we can only use the diffuse for now. So the next line of code we're going to copy is the entire script tag. As you know, JavaScript is the one that handles the functions. So we'll copy the entire script tag. And so see, take it to our code and paste it under our model viewer tag, our model viewer closing tag. Ctrl V. So we have the script tag here. So now we're going to make some changes because we have the two codes. As I said, we are only making use, if you go back to the code, we're only making use of diffuse. So anything that doesn't have to do with diffuse, we're going to delete it. So if you come over here, this is normals, occlusion, emission, diffuse, metallic. We only need diffuse, so we can delete the rest. This, bye bye, this as well, and this. So we have only diffuse here right now. So the next thing we're going to do is give our model view an ID. So an ID allows us to identify the model at any point. So let me create an ID for my model viewer. ID equals, open the quotation, let me name it dress. So I just call this dress every time I need to call the model viewer. So now in the script tag, it's asking us for that ID in this first line of code here, const model viewer texture, model viewer, hash, helmet. So the ID for where we copy the code was helmet, we're going to replace it with our own ID. So my own ID is dress. So I'm replacing it with my ID over here. So that's pretty much it. The last thing to do now is to change the location to add our images. So now let's go back to our file explorer over here and move the textures that we downloaded. So copy the texture folder and paste it in your code folder. Yeah, like that. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code and the folder should be right here with all the textures. So we're going to apply those textures in the options only. Texture slash 1dr.png. So you can just do that, add the textures for with the correct code for each and every one of them. Provider. Okay, so I've added all my textures. But before we do that, we need to add one option above. an empty option to start with. So let me remove this, name it empty. So I'm going to rename all this. So this will be none, meaning there's no texture here. I'll name this look. So you can just bridal, linen. So if I save and go to my website, so you can see changes I've made here none. If I click on silk, it changes to the silk material. Click on the bridal, changes to the bridal. Click on the linen, changes to the linen as well. So yeah, that's basically it. So the next step will be to upload this online so you can view it through your mobile devices and use augmented reality to change the dresses as well. You can either change it normally on your um, system website like this, or you can open it augmented reality where you can also still make the same changes to see how it looks like.
And so we're done. So if you want, you can keep on adding more materials, try with other 3D objects, upload it on the cell GitHub so you can have access to it on your phone, share it with your friends. So I already went over the GitHub process on the previous videos, so you can check how to use augmented reality in model VR. It will be provided as well. So yeah, that will be all